at the Patriots, obviously. Thoughts kind of going in, just kind of your opinion and what you know of the rivalry, before the first matchup.
Yeah, it's super cool. You think of the New England Patriots your whole life, and like my whole life, how many Super Bowls they won, how many I've seen them just in, and obviously the team's a little bit different now without Tom there, and but Bill Belichick is still there, and that dude's one of the best coaches around, and the scheme and the way that he gets those guys to play hard, and the rules that he gives them, it's tough. He does a good job, and so it's going to be a good challenge for us.
Do you remember the first one of their Super Bowls that you watched? I don't know if you were with Dad or something like that, turning on the TV, like which one kind of sticks out?
Yeah, I can't. I mean, it's crazy because I almost feel like every year looking back, it's like them in the Super Bowl, right? It's like they all start mushing together. You can't even remember which one is which, and all that. But they've had an amazing run. I feel like ever since I was a little kid and can remember watching the Super Bowls, it's the Patriots have been a part of it.
What about the Patriots scheme sticks out to you defensively?
I would say they're very disciplined. They're able to just play man coverage and put guys on an island, and they have a lot of trust in their players. The technique that they teach, the ability to, just completely say, hey, you got a man for a man right here, and you got to win. And they got good players, and they do a really good job of just doing a lot of different things. And normally teams, when they have a lot of different things, they start to screw up on things. But it's a well coached team when they do a lot of things, and they also execute really well. And so that's where the challenging part comes in.
Belichick coach defenses are known for creating a lot of misery for rookie quarterbacks. There's a long record, stats that you probably don't need to hear. But what kind of challenge? Do you relish that kind of challenge going against that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a good challenge for me. Tons of great learning, I'm sure. And then also just, these guys are part of our division, so we're going to play them a lot, and this year and in the coming years, of course. And so it's just, getting used to this scheme, how we can beat some of the things they're going to throw at us. And, it's no secret what they're going to throw at us. It's like, now you got to try and stop it. And so that's the, the big question. We have, I think, a lot of good things we've been working on this week.
Obviously, you've mentioned before, your goals, Super Bowl, divisional title, things like that. But considering the history between these two teams and kind of the bitter rivals, is beating the Patriots one of the things that you want to accomplish, aside from just them being a divisional opponent?
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I think obviously every single year it's a new team, and I don't even know how many guys are still on the team from that Super Bowl year. I know there's quite a bit, of course, but I think it's always a new team. I wouldn't say necessarily just because it's the Patriots, but just because a win in this league is so valuable, and they're hard to come by, and teams are good, and I've already started to realize that record doesn't matter. If a team is 0-14 or undefeated, it does not matter. It's the NFL, and everyone's going to be good. And so I think it's just cherishing that those wins are important. And so this week it's kind of the same thing. It's a big win for us if we get there. So
when you were in college requesting film of other NCAA quarterbacks, was Mac Jones ever on the list?
I mean, no disrespect to Mac, but no. Of course. I think our games are just different. It's not that he's not a good player. He's a great player. Obviously, what he's been doing is awesome. But our game is just different as far as what we're doing. And I would definitely say Alabama, though. We stole things from them as a team at BYU, and we tried to copy them on a lot of stuff. But I wouldn't even say necessarily that in college I watched college quarterbacks. I watched more pro quarterbacks and saw the way that they played.
Do you know him at all, or did you cross paths, Mac Jones?
Yeah, he's a cool dude, man. We ran into each other at the combine stuff a little bit, and then some at the draft night. And so, I was excited for him and his opportunity. Super cool, and that's the cool thing about being in this spot. It's not like me and him were really competing for a spot. I got to go to my team, he got to go to his, and so all those quarterbacks coming out of the draft, you really hope the best for them.
Is it cool at all? You guys are both first-round picks. He's going to the Patriots. You obviously are here to the Jets. If all things go according to plan, you'll be seeing each other 2 or 3 times a year for the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a cool little inner rivalry within the rivalry for you?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it goes divisional wide. It's a young division now with quarterbacks. With me and Josh and now Mac as well and Tua. I think it's pretty cool. These young quarterbacks that are able to play at this high level, and it's just the expectations that they put on some of these young guys nowadays. It's cool. It's going to be a fun challenge for all of us every single week playing in this division.
Given the pressure you faced in your first game and the amount of hits you took, a lot of people praised your resilience and toughness afterward. But are you a little concerned that if you have to take that number of hits every week, that it'd be tough to stay healthy over the course of a long season?
No, absolutely not. I don't worry about that. Injuries happen, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's from that. Also just pressure-wise too. You know, I got to do a better job of handling it. You know, we're going to clean things up this week, but you know, pressure is a thing that's team-wide, and I got to do a better job of just making sure, you know, a team doesn't do that, and you know, I'm not getting hit on my back all the time, and so, you know, it's a point of emphasis for us this week, and we're going to keep working on it.
What was, you go basically, you haven't been hit since college, and you get hit like you did last week. What was that like to kind of just jump right into that?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I've said it before, but like, you don't really feel like it didn't seem weird, if that makes sense. Like, it seems like it's just football, like you've played your whole life, and you know, I'm sure you guys have seen in practice, I haven't scrambled once since I've gotten here, and you know, that ability in the game to just kind of feel when to get out and when not to, just kind of, you know, naturally kind of just comes back. I think is, you know, you just have that backyard football player in you sometimes when you need it, and so the getting hit part, I feel like it's just it's a natural thing. I've been getting hit since I was 8 years old.
There was a play where you were like kind of backyard football running around, and then you got hit pretty good on like the second or third guy that ended up coming in. So is there a point where there has to be a second clock that goes off, like the clock when you're in the pocket, I got to get out, but then the one where, okay, I got to get the ball because somebody's coming?
Yeah, you know, that play was interesting because, of course, in my mind, I'm like, you know, how do I get the ball down the field? You know, we have a guy open, and then also how do I just get rid of the ball so we can survive? But it's, you know, when you're getting spun around and there's dudes from all different, you know, you have no idea if you go to throw and someone knocks it out of your hand. You have no idea where someone's coming from. So at that point, I'm just like, how can I just get us as close back to the line of scrimmage and just eat it at that point? Because eventually when you're running around like that, someone's going to hit you pretty good. And so, you know, that kind of crossed my mind once I got out of the first group of guys, was just like, how can I just get back to the line of scrimmage and just eat this one and survive to play the next down?
So when a team gives up 6 sacks, usually the offensive line gets most of the blame. So you're saying that looking over the film that there are things that you could do as well, like just from learning through experience, like what, just be quicker on your reads, see things pre-snap, like what can you do to...
Yeah, of course, and that's what's so cool, right, about football. It's such a team game, right? And, you know, there's some times where I'm going to bail them out, and there's sometimes where they're going to bail me out. And so I think that's where it goes hand in hand. You know, the first sack that I took where I got pumped and tried to throw it over to the left, you know, we're in a 5-man pro, the back's releasing. That's my guy. I got to throw that. You know, that's not on the O-line. You know, and then later in the game, you know, maybe they miss a pass pro, whatever, and I get out of the pocket and make a play on something, you know, so it goes hand in hand. And so, you know, that's kind of why, you know, it's a little bit skewed as far as just like, you know, 6 sacks is all on the O-line. You know, it's definitely team-wide. And for one, you know, me just getting the ball out quicker, you know, understanding that, you know, those guys are all teeing off up front, and how can I just help those guys out and get the ball in my hands.
Did you have any interaction with the Patriots before the draft, Zach? Did they interview you at all?
Yeah, I did. I got to talk to Josh McDaniels for a little bit. Super cool dude. I actually liked him a lot. I thought he was a nice dude, and, you know, he's obviously a smart guy and does some cool stuff.
You said you're excited about this opportunity. A lot of quarterbacks don't really have much fun against the Patriots. You know, a few years ago, Jets quarterback was on mic'd up saying I'm seeing ghosts out there. What excites you about facing that defense and facing Belichick?
Yeah, I think it just kind of goes back to, you know, it's interesting. I look at my college days. You know, if I played bad or didn't do well, you know, I felt like I was hurting my opportunity for the future. You know, but now I'm in the NFL, and you know, this is a job for me now. And so, like, it's cool because, you know, there was times where plays were challenging last week, and, you know, there's adversity and things are going on. And then even saying this week, it's like, this is tough. Like, this is a hard job. Like, it's awesome. Like, sometimes I just sit back and, like, smile. Like, this is so cool, you know, to, like, there's nothing better when you go out there against the Patriots and they maybe smack you in the mouth on one, then you stand up and you hit a big throw down the field. Like, that's the fun part of the game, is you never know what you're going to get. And so I really just enjoy, like, the challenge of this. You know, our job is never the same every single day. We're always looking at something new, and I think that's going to be the exciting part for this week. It's going to be fun.
One thing that the Patriots they like to do is take away one of your favorite target, and obviously Corey is one of your favorite targets. So what are things that you can do to make sure that you can still feed Corey? Because obviously if Corey is doing well, then the offense is doing well.
Yeah, I mean, you see it all the time, right? There's great receivers on every team, and those guys still manage to get theirs in. You know, whether it's a game plan thing and you're just putting them in situations that's going to get them the ball. You know, but sometimes when it comes down to one-on-ones, it's just my guy against yours, and, you know, I got to have that trust that he's going to win. And then across the board, it's how can I just, you know, get our other guys involved. We got some great talent across the board that I think a lot of people are going to be able to see soon, and once those guys explode onto the scene and people start to see how good they are, then it opens Corey right back up again.
How much of a evolving do you have to do week to week? Because for the opener, you're a rookie, so you haven't played before, so you were kind of an unknown in a way going into week one. But now there's 60 minutes of tape on you where Bill and them can go in and look and say, okay, he didn't do this well. Now we're really going to hammer him with that stuff. Do you need to change at all week to week? I mean, how is that process going to work for you as teams kind of get the book on you a little bit?
Yeah, we think about that stuff, and I would say the same corrections I'm trying to make on things I'm trying to get better is probably the same things they're probably saying I'm not good at. So going into the next week, it's like a point of emphasis. Obviously as a team in general, we didn't handle pressure well. I'm sure they're going to pressure us. And so it's like, how can I get pressure? How can I get better at pressures this week and getting the ball out quick, having good decisions. Where I'm going and certain looks that we're getting, and I'd really say that's evolving. Trying to strengthen our weaknesses.
That's good. How are you feeling now? Has the soreness gone away?
Yeah, man, typical soreness. I feel great. I feel really good. Definitely been worse, that's for sure. I used to run around a lot more in college than I do now, so I feel better.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.